Hey guys, welcome to a new video. This is Nerd Talks, the new series that I have decided I am going to be doing on my channel. Now, today the subject of our Nerd Talk is the Pokemon franchise, specifically the Pokemon Nincada, as you can see here. Nincada is a bug ground type Pokemon known as the trainee Pokemon. It has the ability Compound Eyes, which is, in my opinion, pretty interesting because it boosts your accuracy. I do not know by how much, but that's what it does. It also has Runaway as its hidden ability, which is not that common to get. In fact, I'm not even sure how you get hidden abilities. And I've been playing this since Fire Red and Leaf Green. It is 50% male, 50% female, so that doesn't really matter, but there you go, it's easy to breed. And it has, honestly, respectable stats compared to other Pokemon of the same category, if you want to call it that. This is a Pokemon of the same category as Rattata. Yes, that's how you pronounce it. There is an extra T after the first T in rat. And Pidgey. It actually has more than Pidgey, and I believe more than Rattata, with 266. And I believe that is boosted quite a bit by its, in my opinion, respectable 90 defense, considering, again, what it is. It also has 45 attack, which is not great, but again, this is a low-level Pokemon that you are not supposed to use for very long anyway. And it's actually the same, if not higher, than a Pidgey's, I believe. I looked it up earlier, and yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the same. It, of course, only has 40 speed, but I don't think that's too terrible for what it is. Special attack and special defense are somewhat lacking, though, as well as its HP. It has quite a few weaknesses, actually. Rather, quite a few for the Hoenn games of flying and water, which are both found fairly commonly and fairly easily and fairly early on in the game. You can find Wingull within the second route of the game, where you fight May for the first time. That is pretty bad, considering it has a ×2 weakness to water, and also a ×2 weakness to flying. Fire is not as much of a problem, because honestly, you will not be encountering very many fire types while you are using a Nincada. And it also has Ice type, because of its ground typing, which, honestly, again, does not really matter. Ice types are not that prevalent in Hoenn, and you will not be using a Nincada for that long anyway. It has 2 evolutions, technically speaking. It has a special evolution that I have not seen anywhere else, where if you evolve it into Ninjask here, while you have an empty spot in your party and a Pokeball in your bag, you will also get an additional Pokemon in your party called Shedinja, which is fairly interesting in my opinion. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a different episode. However, this is where things start to fall apart. Nincada, being what it is, evolves at level 20, which means it will not get a significant power boost until then. And its moveset is fairly garbage, in my opinion. This is the Generation 6 moveset for X and Y. As you can see, it does not learn a stab attack until level 31, and that is the 20 power Mud Slap. That is ridiculous. It is, however, better in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, but still, you do not get a stab type ground move until Mud Slap at level 17. 3 levels before its evolution, when the ground type will become irrelevant, because it will lose its ground typing in favor of bug and flying, or bug and ghost. So, honestly, it's pretty bad in that regard. And it's also even worse when you realize this is a special move. And it has, again, 20 base power. That's it. That is awful. Very awful. Considering the only other stab type move it gets is Leech Life at level 5. And it also only has 20 base power. Admittedly, early on, they're not awful, because Leech Life heals you for a portion of the damage you deal, and Mud Slap always, unless accuracy cannot be lowered by a Pokemon that has, say, keen eyes, will always lower the opponent's accuracy. But they are still only 20 power, and that is garbage. Like, legitimately garbage. Leech Life actually got a buff in Generation 7 and is now 80 base power. Much more useful. And, however, I'm not sure if Mud Slap did. But then you also consider, again, Mud Slap is special. Nincada only has 30 special attack. It is its lower stat in the 2 attacking types. So using a special move on an Nincada is not going to be good, especially when paired with the low power of said special move. And again, it doesn't get it until level 17. You can catch Nincada at level, 4 to 7, I believe, at Rustboro City. So even if you get a level 7 one, you have to wait 10 levels of using this thing before you get a stab ground move. And it is awful stab ground move. An awful one. Now, I know this is just rambling. Some of you, it might not mean anything. But if you know Pokemon, you know that is not good. And I have to use one of these things on my team. I guess I don't have to, but I'm choosing to, because of the fact that the only other ground-type Pokemon that you get early on, besides your starter Mudkip, which technically isn't even a ground type, it just evolves into ground types, is Geodude, and you don't get that until the second town. Or no, not second town, but second gym town. So yeah, it is... I am trying to make it so that I have options of Pokemon to use in battle, and yet this Nincada is so bad. Scratch is literally its strongest non-TM move that you can get until level 21, which is Metal Claw, which is not Stab. However, it is Steel type, so technically it is useful against other rock types. But you also, it is a ground type, so you might get the same result with Mud Slap. Maybe. I don't know. Mud Slap is really bad. But my point is, it should get Dig or something, or at least get Mud Slap at a much earlier level than this. Because right now, I'm not sure how long I'm going to be using this, but I'm already starting, and I'm already tempted to ditch this thing. It is really bad, guys. And it is honestly frustrating to have to deal with this thing. So, yeah. My idea is don't use a Nincada. And if you want Shedinja or Ninjask, just use the experience share or switch train it, because otherwise you're going to be very, very upset. And you're going to be sitting there for quite a while. Alright guys, well that's actually it for today. I just wanted to vent about how terrible this Pokemon is, at least in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. because of this ground type challenge. See you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.